Many years ago, there was a school teacher named Mrs. Thompson. It was the first day of school, and she stood in front of her 5th grade class with a warm smile. She said the same thing most teachers say, "I love all my students equally." But deep inside, that wasn't true, because her eyes kept going back to one quiet little boy sitting in the front row. His name was Teddy Stoddard. Teddy was different from the others. He rarely spoke, avoided eye contact, and always looked untidy. His clothes were messy, his hair uncombed, and his face dull and tired. Over time, Mrs. Thompson found herself getting irritated by him. She would mark red crosses on his papers and often thought, "This boy will never improve." But one day, something changed everything. Every teacher at that school had to review their students' past records. Mrs. Thompson went through everyone's file and left Teddy's for the very end. When she finally opened it, her heart sank. His 1st grade teacher had written, "Teddy is a bright, cheerful boy. He loves to learn and brings joy to our class." The 2nd grade teacher had noted, "Teddy is an excellent student, but his mother is very ill. Home life is difficult for him." The 3rd grade teacher wrote, "Teddy's mother passed away. He's struggling deeply and trying his best, but his father seems distant. Without help, he may give up soon." And in the 4th grade report, it said, "Teddy has withdrawn from everyone. He doesn't focus on lessons anymore and often falls asleep in class." Mrs. Thompson put the file down, and tears rolled down her cheeks. She realized how unfair she had been. She had judged him without ever understanding him. A few weeks later, it was Christmas. The classroom was full of joy and excitement. Every child brought a beautifully wrapped gift for Mrs. Thompson, except for Teddy. His gift was wrapped in an old brown grocery bag, wrinkled and torn. When Mrs. Thompson opened it in front of the class, inside was an old bracelet with missing stones and a half-empty bottle of perfume. The other kids started giggling, but Mrs. Thompson quickly smiled and said, "Oh, Teddy, this bracelet is lovely." Then she dabbed a little perfume on her wrist. Teddy stayed behind for a moment, looked at her quietly and said, "Mrs. Thompson, today you smell just like my mom used to." That one sentence broke her heart. After the class left, Mrs. Thompson sat alone and cried for a long time. From that day forward, everything changed. She stopped just teaching lessons and started teaching hearts. She gave Teddy more attention, spoke to him kindly, looked into his eyes and said, "I know you can do it." She praised his efforts, guided him gently when he made mistakes, and encouraged him every single day. Slowly, Teddy began to change. The quiet boy who once sat alone started smiling. He began answering questions, making friends, and most importantly, believing in himself again. By the end of the year, Teddy had become one of the brightest students in the class. He was no longer the boy who couldn't learn. He was proof that love and understanding can work miracles. When the school year ended, all the students moved on. But Mrs. Thompson couldn't forget Teddy. She often wondered, did he keep going? Did he stay strong? Then one day, she received a small note in the mail. It was from Teddy. It said, "You're the best teacher I've ever had. You gave me back the confidence I had lost." Mrs. Thompson smiled through her tears. Years passed. 6 years later, another letter arrived. "I finished high school among the top 3 in my class. You're still my favorite teacher. Her heart filled with pride. She looked toward the sky and whispered, "Your boy is doing well," as if speaking to Teddy's mother. 4 years after that, another letter came. "I graduated from college, and you're still my dearest teacher." Then, several years later, came one more letter. "I've completed medical school. Now I'm officially Dr. Theodore F. Stoddard." Mrs. Thompson couldn't hold back her tears, but they were tears of joy. She realized that sometimes a little bit of faith can rewrite someone's entire destiny. Months later, another letter arrived. This one said, "I'm getting married soon. Would you please come and take my mother's place at the wedding?" Mrs. Thompson was overwhelmed. She accepted the invitation with love. On the wedding day, she wore the same old bracelet and the same perfume that reminded Teddy of his mother. After the ceremony, Teddy hugged her and said softly, "Thank you, Mrs. Thompson. You made me believe that I could be someone. You made me feel special." Thompson smiled with tears in her eyes and whispered, "No, Teddy, you taught me what it truly means to be a teacher. Before you, I only taught lessons. After you, I learned how to teach hearts." Moral of the story: never judge anyone by what you see on the surface. Every child, every person carries a story we know nothing about. A little love, a little understanding, and one kind word can change someone's life forever. Because sometimes all a person needs is someone to believe in them.